So last time I was here, I did both knees, injections into my knees. I did injections into both of my shoulders. Those were pretty much like optimization type injections where I didn't have specific bad injuries. There were more like wear and tear on my shoulders over the years. And then my knees were pretty good, but I had reconstructive surgery from a snowboarding accident in my left knee. And so I got the stem cells in my knees, and my knees both feel a lot better now. I can basically run the thing I really love to do for exercise is like run soft sand. And that would kind of irritate my knees quite a bit. And now it doesn't really irritate my knees at all. I had no swelling or inflammation after running, which is a huge one. And then I love snowboarding as well. And then I also love bow hunting, like I said, and like the kind of bow hunting I'm doing is like kind of rough terrain, super steep backcountry stuff where you're like carrying a pretty heavy pack, and to not have to think about like my back and my knees when I'm carrying a heavy pack and rough terrain for days on end is amazing. It's really good. And even from a safety perspective, like to know that I can do trips like that and not have to worry so much about like shit, like what happens if I can't carry my stuff out? What happens if I get stuck back there? Like, you know, what happens if I have to use my satellite phone to call a medevac to come get me? And that just doesn't seem like a possibility anymore.
Yeah, that kills all the fun in it.
Yeah.
I've been there, with my back. There's times I lay on the floor in the airport and stuff just because I just couldn't take it. And I think that, back pain is one of those things, and you don't get it till you got it. And then when it happens to you, you're like, oh, this is next level.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people...
A hurt knee, a hurt shoulder.
Yeah.
This is my entire being does not work the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, your back, for anybody who's listening who has back issues, can definitely relate, man. Like when your back is out or your back is super fragile, you're not walking it off or pushing through. There's no such thing. Yeah. Your back just says, nope, you're not doing that.
There's no suck it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would put me in such a bad mood. I'd be angry all the time from it.
One of the things that really pushed me over the edge to get stem cells in the first place was a mutual friend of ours named Mike Escamilla.
Oh, yeah.
Rooftop Mike. When I was doing research and I was considering coming to CPI, I talked to Mike, and he's been a friend for a long time, not close friends, but we kind of do similar things. He's in action sports, similar age, and he was always just like the happiest, like best. He has such a good attitude, just like psyched on life and like just really enthusiastic. And man, he had really horrible back issues for years. And when I talked to him after his first trip to CPI, he said, Shane, I was like really in a bad way. He had a crazy depression from how bad his back got, like to the point where it was like really, really, mentally unhealthy for him, and started affecting his life in all types of different ways, even with his family and everything, because he was so depressed. And when he came down to CPI and getting his treatment, the stem cell treatments in his back, it was so life-changing for him that now he lives virtually pain-free and can do all the cool things he wants to do, and like play with his kids and like just live like a super active lifestyle again for the first time in a long time. And he told me, he was like, dude, if you're considering it, you have to go. Like, it's like a life changer. And I really trust Mike. And so he was like one of the guys who really convinced me it was the right call. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah. And I think Joe was the first one that hit me up about you coming down too. So
yeah. And then I was on a podcast with Joe Rogan, and he told me the same thing. He's like, man, I sent my wife down there. I mean, not his wife, his mother, right? His mom came down and had insane results. And, and like, you guys have been friends with Joe for a super long time as well. And he's been, like a friend of CPI for a long time. And he said the same thing. I called him and said, because I love to do my own research and my own due diligence. So even after doing all the research and speaking with Mike and everything, I called Joe and said, hey, I'm considering CPI. What do you think? And he's like, all day long, you got to go. Yeah. So it was all green lights right away.
Told me you're coming. I was like, bring him down. Let's go.